How do you see wokeism entering the picture here?
Well, this is the issue with the water. I mean, I think the renewables in focus is really what you might call climatism. This idea that climate change is the most important environmental problem, no matter what's going on. That got them into the trouble with the clearing the grasses around the wires, not doing that job. But I think the wokeism is this idea that you can take traditional spiritual beliefs, which may have a lot of value, and apply them in present day societies, like this idea that you're just going to use the indigenous Hawaiian perspective of water. It ended up getting people killed. And that's what I mean by this kind of woo woo spirituality. It might have a place for people's, once a week, or for people's spiritual lives, but not for managing a critically important resource like water.
So you're saying that the guy who was in charge of using the resources to fight this decided not to on spiritual grounds, or was he just delayed in figuring out how to get the infrastructure and logistics in place to deliver the water?
Well, there will be an investigation to get to the bottom of it. But what we do know is that this official had given out multiple interviews, including one that went viral on Twitter, showing where he was describing his view of the water and saying that was how they were going to treat it. We also know that he deprived landowners of the water that they needed to keep the rivers full so they could use that as a backup water supply, and that he was continuing to deny them that the day of the fire of adequate water needs. So we can't say for sure what his motivation was. And of course, he may say it was some different reason, but he had said earlier that that was the way that he was going to treat this important resource.
Can two things be true at once? That this was done because the power company didn't have the infrastructure in place, whether it's burying lines, having stronger poles, clearing the grass, whatever, and that the nature of how fast they spread, how much arid land there is, and the kind of dynamics that are developing with these hurricane fires and other phenomena are a part of the changing of climate. So it's both.
Yeah, I mean, certainly one can argue that because global temperatures are rising around the world, that's what we mean by climate change, average global temperatures over time, that you could imagine that on maybe a slightly less warmer summer, that there would have been less warm grasses. But it's a little bit like if you think about the same amount of fuel in two fireplaces in two rooms, but one room is at 80 degrees and the other room is at 75 degrees. The woods, if this is the same amount of wood or wood fuel, or in this case is grass fuel, it's still going to burn as hot and as high, even between those pretty modest temperature differentials. The other issue, of course, is that the big storms that had been hitting Hawaii have moved northwards for reasons that we don't think are related to climate change. So I do think that we should always look at climate change, but I do think that climatism, which is this kind of monomaniacal focus on the single factor, blinds people sometimes to the reality on the ground. And I'm seeing that on environmental problems that we work on around the world, where there's local dynamics that are just much more important and then often being ignored by policymakers. We saw this in California as well, where they allowed the wood fuel buildup in the forests near, and including near electrical wires to occur, while everybody was so heavily focused on climate change and renewables.
Yeah, look, I think the problem is that you have climate change is now political football. And you're either on one side or the other, which is stupid because it's obviously a situation where you got to throw everything at it. So you have to use every kind of fuel you can. Insider alert. Michael Shellenberger has been fundamental in my education and development of my ideas and my journalism around nuclear power. Nuclear power is like a boogeyman, right? But we should be doing everything we can in every way when it comes to energy, the new stuff, the old stuff. We got to figure it out and balance it out. Immediate needs versus long-term needs. But because it's a football, you got to be on one side or the other. And I think that's affecting policy, and that's a mistake. Michael Shellenberger, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for your perspective. Thank you for being a friend of the show and a friend of me. I'll talk to you soon.
Good to be with you, Chris.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.